Hello folks, here it is, the synth, and I just thought I would try and describe some points that make this such an amazing instrument. So, here we go, CS-80 for beginners, just like me. Starting at the top, what we've got is we've got two rows of faders and switches that are actually identical, and they're called 1 and 2, and they come up on your presets here for panel 1 and panel 2. And moving across, you've got pulse width, modulation, square wave, sawtooth, some noise, then you've got some comprehensive filter settings for resonance and high pass, low pass, and initial level and after level. These are the controls that you would have with the filter: a basic envelope, voltage control filter level, bit of sine wave, a full voltage controlled amplifier ADSR, attack decay sustain release, and a level for that. And then right at the end here you've got performance controls, so you've got brilliant and level for initial touch, and then after touch brilliant and level, and you can alter those around. And that's repeated here, and they are presented on the panel as I mentioned for panel 1 and 2. And each one of these is 8-note polyphonic. So when you mount them up, you effectively get 16 voices and 8-note polyphony. So that's the first stage. That's actually repeated under this panel here. You've got another pair of pairs. So those are presented, the top ones are memory 1 and memory 2, and they've actually got mini faders and switches exactly the same as that, so you can replicate a sound that you create there on here. And you've got memory 1, memory 2, and memory 3 and memory 4. And then moving down, these are the presets with the lovely lights on, and then you've got over here you've got performance controls. I'll come back to that. This is your selection, so classic old organ for 16 foot, 8 foot, 5 1/3, 4 foot, and if I just go to 1, so this is, and then you can mix those up. If you that was just 1, that was just panel 1, so you can mix them up. Then you've got the sub oscillator here, which is a low frequency oscillator, and you've got sine, sawtooth, reverse sawtooth, square, noise, and external. You can trigger something external, and then you've got speed, VCO, VCF and VCA. Then you've got a ring mod, rarely used, channel detune between the top and the bottom channels, and some your overall pitch and fine tuning. Here's some more performance controls, some chorus, which I never use, and glissando, portamento and sustain. There's also other things, your expression pedal, which you can actually switch so that it's like a wah-wah. Don't think I've ever used it. So I'll go back to expression. Right, coming back to here, these are really important. So I just mentioned earlier that I went to one sound. Oh, expression pedal's not down. So that's my panel 1, which I can alter about. Let's make it thinner by taking out the sine, making it more sine wave. And then I can also use this, if I move that up, so that was that one there, memory 1 and memory 2, that's got a little bit more attack. A lot more initial touch. bass end is just so fruity and wonderful. So then I could split it so that one of the panels is an octave up. Then next to the mix, I've got my brilliance and resonance, which is an overall control. So that affects everything. So when you've done those, that's a kind of overall control for all your, they call it a tone selector, and we tend to call it presets. But I quite like these backed off a little bit. Then you've got touch response, so that's initial pitch bend, and then aftertouch, so speed, VCO and VCF, so sub oscillator, and then you've got keyboard controls, more brilliance, low and high, and level low, level high, and all of these I would tweak with my sound. This is your, you don't have a pitch bend wheel, you have this strip which actually goes the whole octave. So if I take, oh actually it's even more than that. It's even more than that. And then for modulation, there's no modulation wheel because you control it all by aftertouch, and that's what's so wonderful about it's polyphonic aftertouch. So if I play a chord here, so here on my memory 1 and memory 2, I've set it so that it's aftertouch that's delivered by the modulation pressure. So it's probably better. Yeah, that's a much better demonstrator. A little bit more VCO. If you know the After the Fire back catalogue, you'll know there's one sound which is Time to Think, which uses this preset, but it has a chugga 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 on it, and that's done by putting the square wave on to VCF. There you go, so that's used, demonstrated the difference between the top and the bottom, the two strands that give you 8-note polyphony in bands, so you can use a mix to choose one or the other, or mix them both and vary it. Some overall performance controls, the presets or tone selector, use of the sub oscillator, and yeah. How cool is CS-80? The thing about it is, I feel it's organic. There's something about it, it's a bit like an old steam locomotive that kind of has a little bit of a mind of its own, because it changes with time. The longer you leave it on, just eases into a slightly different timbre of sound. And well, I absolutely love it. I think it's just the most wonderful instrument, and I'm really pleased to get it back. Anyway, we'll tell you a little bit more about it sometime soon, play some tunes as and when. Thank you so much for having a look, and don't forget to subscribe. I never can remember which way round it is, but there's a blog that will come up. Please click on that to subscribe, then you'll get a notification of the next video that we do. Thanks for your patience. See you next time.